top of this building is about to come off. Crossover again, Romeo. Axel Breaker. What a shot! Mula kay Carlo. Going left, going right, and straight to goal! Right now, he's unstoppable. Throw sa pagitan. Ito, iwan ang kita. JC is down. Sky for that dunk. Has to apply. Down low. Bastos jam! Thompson, the great setup for the turn. Ball bell number 3. That's a big shot. Wow. There's an alley-oop with a rim rattler. Webber waiting down low. Two-handed. And then Kraken going down. Spider-Man. Use some attack. Slam dunk. And the center of this crowd roar.
Your sibling rivalry will be disputed here today. This is the starting five for both squads. Jimmy Alapag, Chris Newsom, Marinzo Nawaku. For Brian Fondo, Cliff Hodge on one side, Kevin Alas and Asi Taulava will be leading the way for the
No
Nlex
changes
Warriors.
as far as the starting lineup of Meralco is concerned. But sa Nlex, may pagbabago. Si Glenn Cabuntin has not started at all in this conference. He's starting out in place of Sean Anthony. Anthony had previously started in every game of Nlex, but they're coming off a devastating loss. They lost by 27 to Rain or Shine. So Coach Boyd Fernandez wants to institute a few changes, and if that will come in the starting lineup, he's hoping that something good will come out of that.
The one thing that you will see is in that last game, like you were saying, the Dean, no? 30 points lang ang Nlex off of that bench. Could this be a ploy for Coach Boyd to maybe extend his bench moving forward?
You know, I think so. That's a very good point, Aaron. They only had 30 points from the bench in that game against Rain or Shine, against 70
Yes.
from Rain or Shine. And that 40-point disparity is so huge that has made Coach Boyd Fernandez rethink kung sino dapat niyang ipasok sa kanyang starting lineup. And what about Glenn Cabuntin, his first start in this conference, hitting the field goal and the free throw? He's got 3 points in the game.
Siyempre, simula na po ng tag-isa ng tunay na lakas. Cobra, gusto ko pa. Dito po sa simula ng ating first quarter. It is 3-2 in favor of the Road Warriors. Babagsak na po natin ngayon kay Cliff Hodge. Chris Newsom finds Arinjo Nawaku, who had a fantastic game despite the result. Jimmy with 2 on the shot clock. Mighty Mouse missing, rebound for Asi.
Well, that time all bases covered by Nlex's defense. They doubled at the post, and then they tried to bring the ball around, but that Nlex defense stood firm.
Jimmy sa kabila, sumalaksak kontra kay Asi. Putback is in for Cliff Hodge.
Weak side offensive rebounding. Cliff Hodge always in position for the putback.
At babantayan po natin kung ilang beses tumama si Cliff Hodge at si Sean Anthony sa sahig sa buong laro ngayon. Yun yung isa sa kailangan natin panoorin on 12.
Ito makikita natin ang ginawa ni Al Thornton. Getting that ball screen and then moving his way inside. You know, the thing about Meralco is that with Brian Paundo as an import stopper, that allows Onuaku to freelance a little bit on defense. You know, that kind of a combination is always very good.
Yes.
When you're playing with an import-laden conference, when you have a local who can't be an import stopper.
And you look at Brian Fondo making a career out of just being that big defensive man in the middle for the Meralco Bolts. Right now, let's head on into the Dean's List for Meralco. What do you have, the Dean?
Okay, unang-una, iingat sila sa penalty situation in that loss of Meralco to San Miguel. They gave up 40 free throws.
Wow.
And they got into the penalty situation time and again. Sinong pipigil kay Onuaku? That's a big question mark. Onuaku has to assert himself. There's nobody bigger than him on the court, and so Onuaku really has to be able to show what he can do. Finally, dapat wag palampasin sa 90 points ang Nlex. And for Meralco, in their 5 wins, they've given up an average of 88 points, but in their only loss, they gave up 94 points. So 90 points, I think that's the absolute maximum that Meralco has to give Nlex.
And you know Coach Norman Black will be preaching defense all throughout this game. It is 6-5. 10 puntos po ang lamang ng Meralco with 9:20 remaining in the first period. Foul on the inside will be called on Faundos. Coach Norman Black not happy with the call.
You see the versatility here of Al Thornton. Kanina, umatake siya from the ball screen outside. That time, drawing the foul from Faundo at the low post. So he's a guy who can play back to the basket, facing the basket.
Cliff Hodge in the open floor, stripped away. And it will be a foul called on Glenn Cobuntin. Good ball. Oh, no, there's no foul. It's clean. Nice. Even better defense for Glenn Cobuntin. On that note, let's head on into the Dean's List for the Nlex Road Warriors.
Well, for Nlex, dapat unang-una, wag sila matakot. No, makibaka. And what I mean is that they need to be aggressive and don't be afraid of the Meralco bigs. They've got to be able to attack the basket. Finally, or secondly, Gising on second unit nila. As we were talking earlier, they need a lot more production from the relievers. At pagpasipag, may ani. And looking at the stats of Nlex, they're way down in the hustle points. They're way down in the hustle stats. They're number 11 in rebounding. They're number 11 in block shots. They're last in steals. They need to be able to recover by showing effort and intensity. And sabi nga natin, kung masipag sila, may aanihin.
And that three-point shot a while ago by Jimmy Alabag was brought to you by Oppo F1 Selfie Expert. Pinasok na po ngayon si Raydel Hugnatan to switch with Brian Faundo. It is now Jonas Villanueva with it. Jonas, linipat kay Kevin. Binagsak ngayon kay Al Thornton. 6 on the shot clock. Alas travels, sliding that foot. Can't do that.
Well, trying the ball fake that time, but that Meralco defense forcing that turnover on Kevin Alas. You know, we're going to see a slow-down game. Both these teams don't like to run. They're also second to the last and last place in terms of assists.
Yes.
So hindi sila masyado nagpapasahan, no? They like to go to their strength, which is one-on-one, and that's why they like to play the deliberate half-court game.
And that man right now with the ball is one of the best at one-on-one rather, when it comes to being an import. Al Thornton, diretso na po siya sa ating free throw line where he will be given 2 charities. And that will be the biggest task para kay Coach Norman Black. Paano niya pipigilan itong si Al Thornton? 19 points, 11 rebounds, and probably one of the slowest performances of Al Thornton against the Rain or Shine Elastic Painters, trying to bounce back from that here today.
That's right. He was bottled up in that game against Rain or Shine, and Nlex has to bounce back in a big way. And that man, big responsibility on his shoulders, si Al Thornton. You know that he can score. Remember, he played for Nlex last conference, and he had stellar games. Out of 13 games, 8 of those games, he hit at least 30 points. This guy's a scorer, and he's an NBA veteran as well.
And it's going to be the task of Raydel Hugnatan and the rest of that team to try and slow him down. It is Meralco possession right now. Na kay Jimmy Alapag po ang bola. Jimmy losing it, still alive for Meralco. 7 on the shot clock for Hugnatan. The ponytail misses and rebound for Nlex.
Hugnatan thinking of going against Kevin Alas in that matchup on a mismatch.
Jonas, nakay-asi ngayon. Cobuntin, spinning, pulling up, and gets it in. 1-point advantage now for Meralco. Jimmy. Binagsak at inagaw ni Kevin Alas.
Well, that lane is too congested.
Asi off and running.
A beautiful scoop pass coming from Kevin Alas.
Look at Asi running on the floor.
You don't often see that. Di natin masyado napapanood yung fast break ng Nlex because they like to take advantage of their size, and look at that double team.
Newsom for 3. And Chris Newsom finally hits. He got 5 points now. And that 3-point shot was brought to you by Oppo F1 Selfie Expert. Chris Newsom had a dismal game in that last one. Only 8 points, 3 of 11 from the field. So a lot of players, the Dean Nagaling sa Meralco, trying to get back into the grooves against that last game against San Miguel. So Asi gets that one off the glass. 4 na po para sa kanya.
Ang makikita natin dito si Unwaku, because you know that he's not well known for his stamina. He likes to play the low post. That's where he gets a lot of his rest. But when he's playing the low post, he's going to get double teamed. So importante dito, yung mga locals ng Meralco, kakana sila. No? And so far, they're doing a great job. Meralco's got 12 points, none from Unwaku.
Yes, double teamed. Newsom ulit galing sa labas.
But that time, nag-react na yung Nlex. No? They recovered, made sure that Newsom did not get a good look.
Thornton. Ngayon na kay Jonas. Sumingi ng pick galing kay Al. Jonas for three. Got it. And that three-point shot was brought to you by Oppo F1 Selfie Experts.
Top of the key shot galing kay Jonas Villanueva.
Tatlo pong abante ng Nlex ngayon. Hodge finds Jimmy against Thornton. Inside now. Hugnatan spinning and we have a wedgie.
O kanina nakita natin in that play, Meralco and Waco did not post up because he's having a difficult time moving around against a double team.
Switch it. Okay, now, kanina problema natin is this. Glenn, nandito si Kwan eh. Si Hans, nandito yung tao ni Jonas. So it means nandito ka. Nandito si Jonas. So pag hindi bumaba ka eh, doble kayo eh. So protect mo tong si Paundo. Huwag datan. Pag binigay dito, sa'yo yan. Pag hindi ka dito, back recover ka dito. Ngayon, pag hindi ka dito, sa'yo yan.
JC Premier,
50 tayo again.
Blue to
I'm doing great.
R&J Jewelry.
Earlier in the dugout, Coach Boyd Fernandez was emphasizing that they were top 4 in terms of defense last conference, and now he's surprised as to why they can no longer limit their opponents. He says that it's evident that they don't have a defensive mentality right now, and he stated that he brought in Al Thornton to bring in support in terms of scoring, but they cannot win games just by scoring. They need to make stops. His fear is that if they do not play defense, Morocco's average output of 91 points, which is the lowest amongst all the team, will go up. So their aim is to limit them to just 80 points. He admits that the change of outlook is challenging, but coach hopes that the commitment to play defense will be evident. And today, the first order is to locate and block out. Guys?
Thank you for that report, Mara. It is one thing to preach defense. It's another thing to have it seen on the court. Yun nga, tama rin yung sinabi ni Mara, from 4th best to now the worst. How did that happen, Dadine?
Well, I think it's all a matter of focus and also what they want to do. I think this team now has been transformed over the last conference into an offense-minded team. You've got a Thornton who's very offense-minded, and they're picking up the pace from what Thornton does on the floor.
Jonas for three, Mintis. Binagsak ulit kay Al Thornton. Triple team block, but he's traveled, and that will switch sides back to the blue shirts. Jimmy Alapag hitting a big three a while ago. That's 8 points now for him. Ganda ng output ni Jimmy so far in this game. He's fired up.
Well, going back to that report of Mara, yung sinabi niya, yung goal ng Nlex, Coach Boyd Fernandez, challenging his boys to limit Meralco to 80 points. Ang sabi natin kanina, yung challenge ng Meralco is to limit Nlex to 90 points. Mas malaki pa nga yung 90. Mabigat-bigat yung 80 points, ha?
20 points a quarter?
Yeah.
That's tough. Here's Hugnatan. And there's a foul. And this is what you were talking about a while ago, Dean, dun sa ating Dean's List, no? Kailangan medyo lumali Nlex sa mga fouls. They did give up a lot of free throws against San Miguel. So, si Reynel Hugnatan po ang ating bisita. At that free throw line, it is 2-point lead for the Meralco Bolts.
You know, looking at the lineup of Meralco, you're looking at players who are over 30 years old, and Hugnatan is 37, Jimmy Alapag is 38, and you've got Faundo, who's 32 years old. Actually, Ferriols, who hardly has played in this conference, is 41 years old. Jared Gillinger is 32. But, you know, with all those players who are 30 and over, you look at Nlex, and that's a senior lineup.
Yes.
They've got 8 players who are 30 and over. Asi Taulava is the league's most senior player at 43.
But don't tell him that. Here he is with the shot. Rattles out, rebound for Rinzio Nawaku. Here's Jimmy. Binigay ngayon kay Cliff. Binagsak, inagaw ng Nlex. And actually, nakasama ko tong si Jimmy Alapag sa gym, and kinakausap ko siya, and I keep asking him how he's able to stay in shape, and he says, you know, this is probably one of the best physical states I've ever been in years at least. He is putting in a lot of work.
Well, he's challenging himself because unang-una, no, he's got to make a statement here with Meralco. This is a brand new team para sa kanya after having played his entire career with Tropang TNT. So he wants to make a big splash dito, no, sa kanyang season with Meralco.
Here's Sean Anthony kontra kay Jared Dillinger. Parehong kakapasok lang. Al Thornton missing the three. Foul will be called on the inside, I believe. Yes. Ang ating lima, it is Newsome, Alapag, Onuaku, Ferriols checking in now, as well as Jared Dillinger for Meralco. Let's hand you on over to Ms. Mara Aquino.
One of the big adjustments that Coach Boyd Fernandez did was to adjust the starting unit with Sean Anthony coming off the bench. And he believes that Sean Anthony can bring in the leadership and support from the scoring, and also to bring enough energy to bring back the second group coming off the bench. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Mara. It's the first basket para kay Arinze Onuaku. 21-15 po na sa ating talaan. 3:24 remaining in the first period. We'll cut to a break. 6-point lead for the Bolts.
Rules natin. Pick and roll 4-man. We're gonna switch that one. Unless your 4-man says green, you open up. But if there's no, we're gonna switch that. Horns is still horns. Okay? We're going double trap. Rob. Al Thornton. Okay? Aaron. Use the screen. Jonas. Sean. Rob, roll.
Tignan naman po natin ang ating stats ni Jimmy Alapag in that last game against San Miguel. 2 points, 1 rebound in 13 minutes. Not what you want to see from a Jimmy Alapag, pero ngayon, napakaganda pong pinapakita ni the captain himself.
Well, so far, si Mighty Mouse nakaka 8 points na. Dalawa na ang 3-point conversions niya. And yes, what a big bounce back from that 8-point loss of Meralco to San Miguel Beer. That was an out-of-town game.
Actually, yung buong posisyon ng point guard, medyo nawalan ng lahat ng production para kay Coach Norman Black. All three, whether it was Jimmy, Karam, or Amer, combining for 6 points, 5 assists, 2 of 16 shooting. That's a very, very integral part of Coach Norman Black's offense.
Oh, without a doubt. But then, you know, they win with defense. And that game, they gave up 94 points. But this time, it's Meralco. Onuaku getting away. That's 2 straight baskets para sa kanya, all inside the shaded area. Bringing back yung punto sinabi natin kanina sa Dean's List natin. Sino ba ang kayang tumigil kay Onuaku? And I don't think there's anyone on the floor here for Nlex who can stop him.
Ngayon,
so if you're Meralco, just feed him the ball.
Ngayon, si Rob Reyes naman pong naka-assign sa kanya. Arinze Onuaku, kukuha na naman ng isa pang rebound. That's his 3rd of the game. Newsome mamitangan ng bola. 2 minutes remaining in the first period. Dillinger galing sa labas.
2 minutes.
Thornton naghahanap ng mapupuntahan. Umikot, pinasa kay Sean. Anthony linabas ulit kay Thornton. Driving all the way against Onuaku. Missing. Foul on the inside, and that will mean free throws for the Nlex Road Warriors.
Aggressive drive that time by Al Thornton. But you can see that he's not the same Al Thornton as before. You know, he's a step slow. And John Ferriol, nakasasabi natin, one of only 3 players who are 40 and over in this league, along with Asi Taulava and Eric Menk.
Thornton missing the first. Papasok na ngayon si Jose Romero, pati na rin si Gary David. At syempre, magparamdam na sa inyong mga paboritong PBA idols using Shout, a new way of expressing yourself quickly and easily. Punta lang po sa sports5.ph and look for the Shout tab or column para magpabati rather sa inyong mga bida. Dito lang sa liga natin. Libre po ito with no registration required. 5-point advantage, 104 seconds remaining in the first period.
Some pressure here coming from Nlex. But Amer, sanay siya sa pressure eh.
Oo.
Hindi yan NCAA, sanay siya sa pressure ng letran.
Oo.
Kaya-kaya niyang
everyone tried it. Here's Arinze Onuaku. 6 straight points for Arinze.
And you like the way Meralco is looking and finding Onuaku inside the shaded area.
Napakalaking tao po itong si Arinze Onuaku.
Exactly, he's listed and measured at 6'9". So that's the absolute limit for imports. Except if you're Mahindra.
Yep. Here's Lanete for three. Got it.
Garbo has that shot. And for Coach Boyd Fernandez, he should be happy that he's getting production from his second unit.
Dillinger will bring it down kontra kay Sean Anthony. Dinoble may foul. That'll mean free throws again for Meralco. Oh no, it's rather the only the third team foul for Nlex, so it will be a sideline inbound. Here is Amer. Amer, pick galing kay Ferriols. The hammer kontra kay Al Thornton. Baser for three, hits.
Seven players have now scored here from Meralco. Good balanced offense para sa kanila. And for Meralco, they're in the penalty, so dapat mag-ingat sila. Yung sinasabi natin kanina, they do have a tendency to give up a lot of fouls.
Sean Anthony hits his version of a three and pushes the lead down to 4. Apat na lang pong hinahabol ng Nlex Road Warriors.
And that's more bench production galing sa Nlex.
Shot clock with, I believe, like 0.1 of a difference. Foul, and that'll be on Harold Arboleda. That was one foul to give.
Anticipated naman ng Meralco that Nlex was going to give the foul. And that's why they had Ken Bonner ready to check in for Onuaco, giving Onuaco a little bit of rest here in between quarters. Good move here by Coach Norman.
Dagdag 10 segundo, pwede na yun. Foul on Arboleda. That will be his third foul, actually. And that will mean...
Not yet.
Not yet. This now
Next
is one.
will be in the penalty.
Amer. Drops Enrico for three. It hits!
What a
Wow.
shot. That's dalawang sunod na 3-point shots galing kay Amer.
And in extremely highlight fashion as well, hitting from beyond the arc after dropping Enrico Villanueva with the crossover. Tignan natin yung highlights natin. Jimmy Alapag, your thoughts on the first quarter, Dean?
Well, I thought that Jimmy Alapag was scorching hot here for Meralco. And he showed the way. Yung leadership niya at yung inspiring play captured this lead. Plus, that tough defense of Meralco showing up once more in the first quarter.